Hello, I'm coming to you today with a degree of humility, and many of you may say, well, that's quite unusual because I'm not really very well known for being humble. But I've had to give the last week a great deal of thought, and I want to share some of those thoughts with you. There are too many to do in one short video because I want to post this on Instagram as well, and Instagram don't like long videos. So I'm going to do a series of podcast videos I'll put on YouTube, and we will call them The Making of the Modern Morocco. But why I'm coming to you with humility is I do believe that we have been successful in terms of having grown an amazing refuge in 10 years because we have been very transparent, both with you on social media, our supporters worldwide, more importantly with the government at every level. And that has been to our advantage, I am sure. I think it's also fair to say that when we first came to Morocco, and I've known Morocco for decades, it was a country where a lot of, I'll call it bakshish, I'll explain, bakshish took place. It was a very tribal society, and that goes back, centuries really. So you very often paid for what you wanted, and that was seen part of life. We have never done that. We have never given bakshish to anybody. If we wanted something done, we have done it as lawfully and as properly as we possibly could. And I think we have earned locally a reputation for that. Over the last year, and particularly since last Christmas, you'll know the difficulties we've had with regard to Moroccan animal aid in Agadir, and that has had a huge impact on us. It was discovered there was a lot of corruption at every level, including the authorities. And we still haven't been able to go into the land that the founders rented and are still paying from abroad for that land to remove all the equines. But we have taken a lot of equines. Some of them have gone to other places. Many have ended up here. That's the reality. And the number of our equines it's just doubled. We've had to build more shelters, more stables. And if I tell you, you could maybe hear my air conditioning in the background. The temperature here is well into the mid-40s today. And when we first came to Morocco to live 15 years ago, we didn't even use the air conditioning. And as the refuge grew, we didn't use the heating because we felt we couldn't afford it. Everything we had went into the refuge. But now we've had to, because of our age and the fact Charles has not been well. He's back here at the moment and doing okay. But we have faced a tremendous shock. And that's what I'm going to share with you now, because I have to, and I hope you understand. We have been very supportive of some of the changes that the government and the King have made with regard to anti-corruption policies in Morocco and also in respect of animal welfare. A new Animal Welfare Act has come into force, and I don't agree with all of it. I share with other associations who are very critical of the fact that the government is making it illegal to support or feed stray animals. I think they're predominantly thinking dogs. And I feel that behind that has been what we have wanted for a long time, the government to take a stand over associations. Because as I've always said, we are legal in Morocco. We submit our returns every month as to how much money we brought into the country, our accounts, our bank statements, etc., etc. And not many animal charities do that. I'm not talking about other charities. But as a result, a lawyer was appointed by the government to inspect all the associations. And it's hearsay, but I heard 7 have already been closed down. Now, what happens in a country such as this when laws are passed with good intent at the top, And, you know, not to kill stray dogs is one of them. By the time it gets to the local level, corruption takes place on the way down. And it's at local level that we still have to face a degree of corruption. I'm sorry to say that. We've had two big problems this last week or two. One has been the bank. And our Moroccan bank, we were very supportive of a bank that opened up in Morocco, where the founder had worked in the City of London, also in New York, and it was set up as a very good digital bank. And we have attempted to re-register our charity. It's taken weeks and weeks and weeks, almost months, and they don't seem to know what they're doing. So we are going to have to move our banks, and I'll tell you about that next month, because I won't give up, and I won't fall for claptrap either. The second is our ambulance. You know how proud we were of the ambulance and how proud and grateful we are to everybody who contributed. And this is where this eats me away inside. Because what I've discovered is that local businesses also are no better in many regards than corruption that takes place at local level. And that is why, historically, people like the Fondue Fairs and other organisations bought vehicles in from Europe. We didn't. We wanted it made in Morocco because we were proud of Morocco. And very recently, on a visit to Stat, where Ayoub is our main driver, he had someone with him. But on the way to Stat, a tyre blew. The gendarmerie were very supportive and very helpful. And when he managed to get the wheel changed, and when he got back, it caused some alarms as to why that tyre should blow on the back with the weight of the ambulance on it. So I'm being quite frank with you. The matter is now in the courts, and I can give you a clear undertaking that every penny we paid for that ambulance will be recovered. We owe that to our donors, and I can't say too much at the moment because it is in the court. I'll tell you more when I can. And Charles and I have financed legal fees to make sure this does go to the court. Historically, what happens in Morocco is people find a solution. Backsheesh takes place. Amendments are made, but you wouldn't expect me to put my drivers at risk of that ambulance turning over on a motorway and maybe being killed. I won't do that. You wouldn't expect me to. So I'm going to fight it, and I'll fight it to the end. So now we're here with problems with the bank, problems with the ambulance. Our numbers are doubling, and Charles has been ill, and I think, oh my God, I wish I could just give up. I'd go back to England, have a nice little cottage in the Cotswolds, you know, and live our life out happily. But I can't because I've made that commitment here, and I will not give up. I will never give up. So what is happening as donkeys are being taken off land because land is being sold to build houses for FIFA coming, etc., etc., etc. We are now the major charity that will take these animals from all over the country, and we try our very best to. The food bill is astronomical, and Charles said to me this morning, we shouldn't take any more in. I said, no, because if we don't, that undermines everything we fought for. We are bringing change about in Morocco. And when you bring change, you get hurdles, and you have to find a way over them. So what I'm going to do are some more short videos. I've been on 9 minutes now. Sorry to my Instagram people. I'll put them on YouTube. I'll put them in podcast form and deal with how it all works here, what our plans are, what help we need. But oh my gosh, do we need help with food? You can imagine there's a drought here. You can imagine the price of food. So I'm going to leave it there for now. And please bear with me and watch my further videos. Goodbye for now.